Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and I am joined by Eric Wilkinson, the director of the Violence movie, producer of The Man from Earth, Violence movie 2. We're going to watch Die Hard. You love this movie, and
I do.
We've been talking about this for a while, so
I do.
You hold up stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the one? I think I have that, but I opened it and it's.
Oh, I know. I would not open this.
I think I bought that. Is that like 90s?
I don't know. This is a real. It's.
I bought one from
it's NECA. 2005.
Okay, that's not the one. That's not the one I have then.
No.
All right, let's go ahead and kick it off, and we can chat during the.
All right. So how queued up are you? Like I'm literally. I can barely see the blue light of the 20th Century Fox, spotlight fanfare.
Yeah,
like
that's where I'm at. I'm on a black screen right before and it's like weirdly stretched out, like it's in the wrong.
Yes, but can you see? I can't see the 20th Century Fox right now. Can you see?
I have
yours?
a black screen. No.
All right, you have black screen. All right.
We'll do 3, 2, 1, play. How about that?
Yes, because if you're gonna watch the movie with us, you're gonna want to start yours at the same time. So you want to cue it up. The very moment the 20th Century Fox thing is about to come on, and then hit start when we hit start. Right?
He's producing. He's producing this. All right. All right. So here we go. You ready? You got your remote handy? Let's do it.
Yeah, you do the countdown. And you tell me when to hit play.
All right. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, play.
All right. Ready?
3, 2, 1, play. All right. Oh, I got to turn down my volume.
I know. I want to turn on my
that
I want to turn mine up to make sure you can hear that we're queued up. Tell me if we're queued up.
We're like less than a second apart.
So. Ooh, is that good? Is that bad? Do I need to pause?
Fine, it's fine. Don't worry about it. All right. Don't get us flagged for.
No, you're fine.
Copyright infringement. This is a work of commentary, of criticism, and this falls under fair use. Google. All right.
Yes, fair use.
A plane has just landed.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking. One of the pre-filming things here is that I'm working off this Australian box set because when this came out in 2013. I don't know when this came out. It was the only way you could get the R-rated cut. What's the one that was PG-13? Do you know?
That would be
the last one, wasn't it?
No. Well, Die Hard 4 came out as PG-13. I think the Live Free or Die Hard is rated R. Die Hard 4 was PG-13, and then when it came out on video, they did a steelbook of the R-rated version, but the Blu-ray only had the PG-13 version, and that was until they did the Nakatomi Plaza box set, which I have back there.
Yep.
Over my left shoulder. You're right. I think I don't know, but that's when they finally put both the PG-13 and the R-rated or unrated version of Live Free or Die Hard. So. Yep.
That's exactly. You know your history on this stuff too.
I do, because I was excited. I remember being when Die Hard 4 came out, Live Free or Die Hard. I remember being disappointed that it was PG-13 because I'm like, that means, I knew that means there was going to be no F-bombs in it, and I thought that was part of the character. But then, if you noticed in Live Free or Die Hard in the unrated version, all the profanity's back, but I think most of it feels looped or dubbed in. You don't quite see the mouths actually say the profanity.
Interesting.
But I'd have to watch it again to be sure of that. But I do remember a lot of dubbed and a few different lines, different takes in that.
All right, here's our agenda. In addition to talking about the movie that we're watching, we have to discuss why. Well, one, this is you told me this was your favorite movie, and I was like,
it's my favorite movie of all time. Absolutely.
Well, we got to talk about that. And then 2, so what?
I'm sorry, are you watching the movie?
No, just that the audio got I felt like the audio got louder, but maybe not. 2, you took out an ad that we have to talk about.
I know, I should have grabbed a copy of that to hold it up, but yeah, you can Google Eric D. Wilkinson and Die Hard, and you can read all about that.
Now, when I introduced you, I just called you Eric Wilkinson. Do we have to take this from the top and I got to do the D?
No. The only reason I use the D, I use my middle initial, I guess professionally, when I get credited and stuff, because there was a lot of, there were several Eric Wilkinsons on IMDb. So I thought it'd be easier to find if somebody wanted to look me up if I use my middle initial. So I just use my middle initial.
You make me call you Eric D. Wilkinson
and
talk back and forth too.
That was my DJ name back in the 80s. DJ Eric D.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding.
That's awesome.
Right?
So violence movie to DJ.
Was the DJ before? I was a DJ before I did the violence movie. I was a DJ before I had a driver's license. Had I known that by the time you got to the 90s and the 2000s that DJs would become like millionaires and billionaires from DJing, I probably would have stuck with it or taken it far more seriously when I was doing it. But I did it for fun.
Yeah.
Back then, teenagers didn't DJ, so it was kind of cool.
You could have been a pioneer. You were a pioneer.
I suppose.
The other thing we have to talk about, and I don't know how to bring this up. Is this a Christmas movie or not? You know, when we first started talking about doing this, we were going to do it in the summer. We were going to do it in this movie came out in June, I believe, June of '88.
Yeah.
But now this whole thing.
Well, it's actually not June. It came out on July 15th.
July. Okay.
Yeah, July of '88.
Thank you. Look at you.
Has it been retconned as a Christmas movie? Yes. Do I think Die Hard is a Christmas movie? I do not think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It's certainly a movie you can watch at Christmas time, but the magic, I think what one of the things about a movie that makes it a Christmas movie is the magic of the holiday has to affect the story in some meaningful way. And this takes place during the holiday, doesn't necessarily, make it a Christmas movie. No more than Lethal Weapon is considered a Christmas movie. But it's a fun movie to watch at Christmas because it takes place at Christmas time.
Yes. It's tricky, right? Because people get so it's part of their tradition. And so it becomes this, it's like it's personal now, and it gets worse every year with Die Hard is a Christmas movie. But I tend to agree with you. And look, he's got, it's Christmas time. He's got this teddy bear thing. But if you can take the story out of the setting and the story remains pretty much unchanged, then that lets you know that the setting is not Christmas is not part of the narrative.
It's not. And I'll say this, and here's how you can tell if it's a Christmas movie or not. Here's a litmus test.
Producer Eric D. Wilkinson about to drop knowledge.
Drop knowledge. Next time, say 4th of July in the summertime, you're having a cookout. And how sometimes you have the TV on or whatever. I want you to put on a Christmas Carol during the cookout in July and sit down and watch it. And see how many people come up behind you or come up to you and why are you watching this movie? It's July. Why are you watching a Christmas Carol? It's July. But if you put Die Hard on in July and you have it on the TV and you're watching it, no one's going to say to you, why are you watching a Christmas movie in July? It's because it's not really a Christmas movie. It's a movie you can watch at Christmas.
That's right. And we had a similar conversation about Gremlins. And you were like, well, here's why Gremlins is a Christmas movie. And you made a great case for it.
Gremlins came out in June of 1984.
Yes.
It's not a Christmas movie per se, but having revisited it many times over the years, Christmas really is part of that story. There are people, it's funny, I have a friend of mine who's not that much younger than me, texted me today to ask me that very question. Is Gremlins a Christmas movie? Because he said he never saw it. So I didn't want to ruin it for him, but there are elements in
Hold
that
on,
movie.
he's just a little bit younger than you. He'd never seen Gremlins?
Guys in his 40s never saw Gremlins. I find that to be shocking, but
yeah.
But Gremlins can be a Christmas movie. I think it's close enough and can be retconned into being a Christmas movie. But Die Hard, listen, no one says you can't watch it at Christmas time.
That's right.
It certainly feels Christmassy enough, but it's not a Christmas movie. I can watch this in July and not feel like I'm the same way if I tried to put Scrooged on in July. So.
I think what we're saying is like, hey, you do you. Whatever makes you happy, you do that.
You do you. You know, I don't necessarily think it's a Christmas movie, but I will watch this at Christmas sometimes, or sometimes if I'm in the mood, I'll watch in the summertime.
Yeah,
I mean,
here we are, Christmas time, talking about it.
You got the two Die Hards take place at Christmas. Die Hard 4 is the 4th of July, and then I guess Die Hards 3 and 5. I'm not sure what time of year they take place.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with those. Like I watched them a couple of times, and that was enough. You know, you watch this one a bunch of times, but I haven't seen the other ones too much. We should talk about how cool Bruce Willis was in 1988. This was like
it's way cool. I want to talk about this scene actually coming up here. This is something that's annoyed me, but we got to wait till he gets inside. So right now, I don't know how synced up we are. He's walking past that thing.
He's going through the revolving door.
He's going through the revolving door right now. Now here, watch what happens here. He walks up to the touch screen. He walks up to the desk, and he asks the guy. He's looking for Holly, and he makes him use the touch screen. Right? See, let's watch here, and points to the touch screen. It's making him use the touch screen. All right, so okay. Now I get that they want to, in order to move the story forward, they want to show that Holly's no longer using her married name, but her maiden name. But watch what happens here. He goes through all this rigmarole. He doesn't know how to work this thing. He's touching buttons, everything else. And then the guy says to him, oh, they're the only ones left in the building. So why didn't he just tell him that when they walked in? If there's nobody left in the building, this guy's coming in looking for people in the building. Why doesn't he just tell him that? He's making it like, watch this right here. Elevators. So when he walked in, oh, you're here for the party? They're the only ones left in the building. Why did he make
showing us?
It annoys me that he made him go through use the touch screen. But he knew 2 seconds later they're the only ones left in the building.
But he's showing us how the technology of this thing works, so that when the
I know, but it annoys me because in the world of I don't know. I mean, I get why they did it. It just annoys me if he knew that they were the only one left in the building. Why did he tell him that right when he walked in? Are you here for the party? Yes. Oh, they're on the 30th floor. They're the only ones left in the building. Just saying.
I hear you. But then you have the problem of how are we going to explain how this building locks and how you can see, there's the elevator. You can watch everything going up and like you. I know. I'm just being a dick. I'm just being that guy. Being the guy in the theater. He was like, guys, he didn't even need to tell him that. He could have just said, go up to the 30th floor.
You know,
stand up and
how
go.
About Bruce Willis with all? How about Willis with all that hair?
Yeah, it's a thick, lush.
It's a lustrous head of hair, and with each movie, get less and less. You know, and listen, I love Bruce Willis, and I love these movies, but God, it saddens me. It's not the ones he does now aren't. Well, first of all, they're not as good, unfortunately, but it just bothers me. I'm disappointed that it feels like he doesn't put the effort into in the films he does today, like he does with this film. I'd say the last movie. What's that?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the last film I felt like he really put an effort in was probably Death Wish, which I thought was a lot of fun. But
I feel like he's been this way for a while now. I know I haven't seen the remake of Death Wish. You've got me wanting to see it.
It's fun. It's fun.
If he shows up, that's a reason to watch it.
He shows up for that. Yeah, it's not. Don't get me wrong. You can't compare it to Bronson, but for what it is,
right?
You know, it's sort of Death Wish with a little Die Hard-ish flavor to it. You know.
I mean, you know the Kevin Smith stories and everything. It's just kind of like, what happened? You know, what happened to this guy?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, me. You know, then again, listen. If every movie, everyone's trying to make him act like, you know, David Addison from Moonlighting or John McClane from Die Hard. He probably gets on his nerves. There he is, Hart Bochner. Do you know that is the director of PCU?
Did he direct PCU? I didn't know.
He sure did. Yes, he did.
You know, what's that movie? The Wildlife. The camera.
Oh, The Wildlife.
That's getting a Blu-ray release soon. As I'm dating this forever, but
yes, he plays the cop in The Wildlife. That's right.
Yeah, that was before this, I think.
Yes, that was 1984.
He's great, and he's such a slime ball in this. He's like such a great movie douchebag.
Yes, He's very good movie douchebag.
You douchebag, call Hart Bachner.
Yeah, no, he was good. But he's only acting like a douchebag. I'm sure he's a lovely person in real life.
Oh yeah, he's in some other things where he's just really good and sincere and dramatic.
Yes, I'll give him Mr. Destiny, which I enjoyed him in. But I love PCU. I think that's such an underrated comedy. Did you ever see that?
Jeremy, I did. It's Jeremy Piven, right?
Jeremy Piven, yes. But
yeah.
It's written by Zach Penn. And it's got David Spade, and it's got
is that the movie where they're like you don't wear the shirt band to the concert of the band, right?
Yeah, John is Jeremy Piven to Jon Favreau's character.
Yes. Yeah, I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. I'll have to track it.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, and I don't think it's on Blu-ray, but great movie.
That's another one.
Coming the villains.
Yeah, here we go.
Here they come. Here they come. What's great about Die Hard? One of my favorite things about it is the protagonist, John McClane, is actually the antagonist, and the antagonist, Hans Gruber, is actually the protagonist. And that's where I think the later movies lost a little step. I mean, the reason why this one works so well is they literally made the protagonist the antagonist, because Gruber's the one with the plan. He's got a mission to complete a job, and McClane is messing everything up. So the protagonist is actually the antagonist in this film.
It's a good read. It's good insight.
Yeah. Well, when you've seen it as many times as I've seen it.
How many times do you think you've seen it?
Oh, God. I mean,
100 times?
At least. It's got to be, because, I mean, I saw it in the movies when it came out at least twice. I came out on videotape on VHS back in January of '89. And I watched it incessant. I mean, I just watched all the time. I owned it on Laserdisc. I mean, I've owned every DVD release of it. I mean, it just, I watch it probably once a year. I mean, I watched this last December at Christmas time.
Oh. Send emails to DJ Eric D.
Yeah, right.
Do you remember on the DVD? Maybe it was the first DVD release. I think it came in like a silver package. It was the double wide packaging. It had a feature where you could like edit together the scenes in the order that it was like there was a Hans Gruber scene, and you could order them.
Yeah, I vaguely do. I mean, it was a feature I had no idea how to use. I never used it, but
it was those early days of DVD when they were kind of throwing things out there. Like we have the technology to do these interesting things. That didn't last. That didn't stick around.
No, it didn't. Even with the angle button too, Really, it was another thing that, I didn't think it'd get used that much. Although
concerts and adult films.
Well, I owned neither of them. I'm not kidding. So I didn't know that they used it on that. Now that you mentioned the adult film thing, that sounds like it'd be funny. The different angles and shit.
I mean, I can't say that I've ever actually experienced that, but I know that would be the application for that. Because how else are you going to use that feature? You don't shoot. I mean, go ahead.
I know. I remember they used it on the Mallrats DVD, the original Mallrats Collector's Edition DVD, because they did a video commentary that was synced with the movie. So they sort of had this round table on Mallrats where everybody was watching the movie together, and you could either listen to it as the audio commentary, you could watch the video commentary in its entirety, or watch it in a small box in the lower corner of your screen. So that's
I had that, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, I see. It's funny. Usually when I upgrade to a Blu-ray, I'll get rid of my old DVDs. There are certain DVDs that no matter what, I don't get rid of. So like all my Kevin Smith VHS, all that's saved. All my Kevin Smith DVDs, like certain like filmmakers, I just won't get rid of their films. I kept all my Scorsese, all my De Palma, I just, all my Van Damme, but lesser films I get rid of them. Ooh, Alexander Godunov, Best Henchman.
It just got Walker Texas Ranger in here.
Right? Wait, who's Walker Texas Ranger?
No, isn't that guy? Isn't he in Walker? Isn't the
was he? Oh, him, Theo?
Yeah. I gotta
Oh, yeah.
verify myself now.
No, you might be. I never once have seen an episode of that show.
Really?
Never.
What did you do between 1993 and I don't even know what years it was on?
I don't know. It was not watching Walker, Texas
You
Ranger.
weren't. All right, let's see. I'm gonna look up.
I like my Chuck Norris R-rated. Looks like a hockey puck.
Yeah, he was on Walker, Texas Ranger from 1993 to 2001.
Oh, so I'm happy that he kept working after this.
That was a good gig. How many episodes did he do? Let's see.
I don't know. Did you see that that Die Hard commercial they made?
No.
The new one. It's got Bruce Willis in it, and Theo in it for, I don't know, like tires or something.
What?
Oh my God, how did you miss that? It's just like it was like from 2 months ago.
No. Bruce Willis did a tire commercial?
Yeah, hold on. I'll look it up because
I mean, I can.
It's.
You haven't seen Walker, Texas Ranger, but you've seen Bruce Willis in a tire commercial.
Well, it was a Die Hard. It's a Die Hard commercial.
That's all that you were there. Somebody, when they were thinking about it, you just appeared. You were like, "Someone say Die Hard," and there you were.
It's a commercial for It's called Die Hard is Back, and it's for Die Hard batteries. I thought it was tires. Die Hard batteries.
Oh, okay.
I'll
have to check that out.
Yeah, it's okay. The problem with it is it doesn't look like Willis spends any screen time together with any of the other actors that he's on in the short with. I don't know. It feels very.
It's probably true.
Cobbled together, and could have been so much better. Theo is one of my favorite of the villains. He's the only one that's got a real sense of humor.
He was in 196 episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Wow. You know what? I feel bad. I've never seen an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger, and I'm a Chuck Norris fan, but I guess
it's different.
Back in the 90s, I was more interested in partying and doing my thing. That
you were DJing.
I was. I don't know. The thought of a TV version of Chuck Norris without the profanity and the excessive violence just didn't do it for me, I guess.
It's like a really, really watered down Lone Wolf McQuade kind of a thing.
It just annoys me.
Family friendly Lone Wolf McQuade.
I like this. You know, I always thought it was cool when I was younger because I had, for whatever reason, I didn't want to take Spanish in high school, so I took German class, and I retained nothing. But I remember when I saw this, I knew all the words he was saying.
That's amazing.
Fist with your toes. I know it's not amazing. He's saying like 999. Like the few words that they said in this movie, I understood. I felt like, wow, I don't need subtitles.
I was impressed.
Well.
You should have played it up. You should be like, oh yeah. And to this day, if I hear German, I'm like, oh yeah.
So great. Like this book, like you see the moment, you see him looking through his wall with those pictures, right?
Yeah.
So let's see if I
is that like one of those archive kind of books with the pull
Yeah,
out?
it is.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's got it's so good. So I can't pull out. Oh yeah, like it's got the pictures in his wallet. They have them all here, like in these little.
That's amazing.
Thing.
That's so cool. I'm gonna have to get that.
Oh, it's called The Ultimate Visual History. It's a great book. Oh, it's Argyle listening to Skeletons by Stevie Wonder. Oh, look, he's got a mask on. He's perfect for COVID. Look how quick this guy works. Like he is chopping that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how he did it. It's just like a brother, like not, you know what I mean? Being a dick to his little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank God he got it in time. But Bruce Willis's phone call just got cut off. God damn it. Poor Argyle. He has no idea what's going to happen.
He has great hair. I got to say that this.
Alexander Goodenough?
Yeah, even as a kid, I was like, I want hair like that guy. It's just blonde. He's just like, I don't know. He looks like a comic book character or something.
You know, he was a Russian American ballet dancer, right? Like a professional ballet dancer, right?
I might have known that and forgot. It sounds vaguely familiar, but
yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a ballet dancer. He, I feel like I thought he. No, he's not in White Knights. That's Mikhail Baryshnikov. But
Yes.
he's also in Witness and The Money Pit and
Yep.
Waxworks too.
I tell you, if you go back and watch The Money Pit as an adult, that is an upsetting movie because it just reminds you of everything that can go wrong with your home.
Yeah, I don't know if it's upsetting. I think it's funny. Oops.
You like it still?
Oh, here comes unnecessary nudity.
Unbelievable.
So you wouldn't see this today. You wouldn't. I don't think you'd see this today.
No, that's a good point.
No, but like in today, there's not. I don't think directors go out of their way to show nudity unless it's inherent to the story. Not like not like they did back in the 80s and whatnot.
Well, I noticed a lot of modern comedies go for male nudity for comedy.
But male nudity is. I'm all for that. Male nudity is funny. Like if used properly. Like did you see Pop Star?
Cop Star?
No, Pop Star.
Oh, Andy Samberg.
Yeah, it's great. Like good use of male nudity in that, or Walk Hard. Good use of male nudity.
Yes. Yeah.
Naked dude equals funny. Or the Hangover. Ken Jeong, man, he's hilarious. Like it's just funny.
There's a lot of examples of it too. Now that you're starting naming things, I'm like, oh yeah, and then this movie does it, and
every movie. I mean, it's almost they got away with it for 40 years, and then finally the Hollywood woke up and said, you know what? Just because you can show somebody naked doesn't mean you should, unless it contributes to the story. I would argue that, like Basic Instinct, the nudity is inherent to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is. I agree. Was Alan Rickman on anybody's radar before this movie?
He was not. I actually was flipping through my book last night, and this was his first major movie role in America, and he got it, I believe, weeks after he arrived in America. And they said, I don't think maybe he didn't get it. I forget what the article said or what the book said, but I remember him not being. I remember it saying something to the effect, not being sure if it's something he wanted to do, but his people are like, "This is like huge. You should do this." And I mean, hands down. I mean, it's been, 32 years, and he's still one of the greatest screen villains in the history of cinema. I mean, he's great in this. He's so good in it.
Well, and as you point out, he's the one that we're kind of, you want to see him succeed, even though he's doing terrible things. He commands the screen and he commands your attention. And I guess it's the stage acting, the stage,
he brings gravitas to the role for sure.
Yeah. He's got that Shakespearean quality to it where you're just like, holy cow.
I mean, I'm not knocking the villains you'd see in canon films around the same time, but It's just, he's so well thought out, and I liked how they wrote his character in addition to McClane, in the sense that there's on some level a mutual respect for one another throughout the film. I think it adds to the story and raises, helps raise the stakes at some level. I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't go to school for cinema, so I'm not going to try and talk and make pretend like I'm some cinema expert here. I just
sounded good to me.
I just like this movie because it kicks ass.
It sounded good to me. It's true. I mean, you were onto something there. It's the interplay between the two of them.
It's great. It's just brilliant. Yeah. And I don't know how much of Bruce Willis's dialogue is ad lib versus what was on the page, but certainly, I'd say what felt like was missing, and I'm going to say this more in a Good Day to Die Hard than the fourth Die Hard, was he just didn't. In this, he looks like he's having fun, and in the fifth one and in some of the fourth one, it looked more like a job to him.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I don't, you don't want it. You don't want when he's if they're gonna do if they ever did another Die Hard movie, you want John McClane to be John McClane. Would you want him? If they made a new Die Hard movie, would I want him acting like he did in 1988? No, because he wouldn't act like exactly like he did in 1988. He'd be, a 30, plus year older human being. I mean, I'm sure I don't act the same way as I did 30 years ago, and I don't think Ed McClane as a character would either. But there'd still be a bit of that sense of humor left in him. I would, I mean, the only way I'd want another Die Hard at this point is if it was written by, D'Souza and directed by McTiernan, Oh, 80s computer.
Yeah.
I love 80s computer.
80s computers are great.
Yeah, the green screen.
It's such diminishing returns, right? Like, I know that we live in a world where the studios want to perpetuate these brands and these franchises and things, but it's just diminishing returns. And if, as you say, if you're going to do another Die Hard, then you need to have a reason to do it. It probably needs to be like the last word on Die Hard, because he's in his 60s, I imagine.
Yeah.
And like the idea of like another Indiana Jones movie. I'm like, do we want to see?
I do want that. Yeah.
You do want that? All right.
Of course I do. We all want one. I mean, I don't know if you want to.
I don't. I want him to remain in the 40. Well, when was the last one? The last one takes place in the 40s, right? Like right before.
I thought it was the 50s.
I'm sorry. Last Crusade. I've struck that.
No, not the Last Crusade.
Last Crusade is a great ending to a wonderful trilogy.
It certainly is, but I don't shit all over the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
It has moments.
It has moments. What I didn't get. All right, I get that people didn't like the whole scene with Shia LaBeouf swinging from the vines and keeping up with the trucks. I thought that was a little over the top. But people railed on the end of that movie. It made no sense to me, because the whole series, for the most part, of Indiana Jones was steeped in science fiction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the first one, they open up the box, there's faces melting, there's ghosts and shit swirling around. And in the second one, a guy like sticks his hand in the guy's chest, or doesn't he pull out his beating heart or something? Like,
yep.
There's
Kalima.
Yeah.
Om Shivai.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then in the third one, you got
Kalima.
But in the third one, you got the Holy Grail, and you got there's science fiction and fantasy in that whole series. So why is it that much of a stretch to believe that? Why is it so hard to accept that there'd be aliens? All right, this is a good part. The question is does Takagi know the answer, or is he that desperate to protect his employer?
I want to believe he wants to protect his people, but I am open to a conversation.
Oh,
he's also Japanese, right? So he's filled with honor, and
it's a good but that's a good point. That's a good point. But
he's not gonna rat out. He's not just gonna roll over for.
I think he called his bluff. I think you may be right. He called his bluff. He was sweating because he wasn't sure whether he was going to go through with it or not. I think he probably thought there was a 60-40% chance, 60 in his favor, that he'd live. But this is great camera work. Who's the DP on this? Is it Yonda Bond? Yonda Bond. Watch, and it gets even better in the third one. But there's a lot of good handheld in this that I love when they're on one thing and he swings the camera over here and back. It's a lot of good handheld in this. They did more of it even in Die Hard with a Vengeance.
What's your thoughts on Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Oh, I love it. It's a lot of fun. But
you get Sam Jackson.
You got Sam Jackson, but I don't have anything to complain about that so much. There's a moment in the sequel of Die Hard that sort of cracks open the door a little bit to make things outrageous. When they're the scene when he's trapped on the plane and he gets locked, he straps himself into the seat and ejects the seat out. Mm-hmm. I think it's a little outrageous. But in Die Hard 3, when he surfs on the pickup truck and then pops out of the hole with the water like a geyser, coincidentally, mind you, at the exact same time as Samuel L. Jackson happens to be driving by, was a lot for me to swallow. And, you know, there's a lot of coincidences there.
Yeah. They get worse too.
Well, but once they got away with that scene in that movie,
yep,
then it gets a little more outrageous, especially by, you know, in part 4 when he's jumping off the freeway on the wing of a Harrier jet, sliding down. It's like, oh, come on.
At that point, he's no longer the good cop in outrageous circumstances. He's like a superhero.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
and I think that the success of the character is that he's you and me on a bad day, but
you're right. You know,
he's a good man, you know, like he's determined.
No, he's ordinary man, extraordinary circumstances. The whole premise of the movie was built on that very premise.
Yeah.
And I love it when he talks himself.
This is a good place for you, since we're kind of here already, but this is a good place for you to talk about the ad that you took out, why you took it out, and what it said.
I mean, why I took it out, I mean, of all the things we're kind of talking about, I mean, I thought that the movies were getting more and more outrageous. I so wanted, you know, A Good Day to Die Hard. I didn't dislike Live Free or Die Hard. I actually enjoyed that. There are things about it I thought were a little ridiculous, but I thought it was a lot of fun. But like A Good Day to Die Hard, in addition to the ridiculousness of the proceedings, at that point, there was no element of danger for our main character because he was superhuman at this point, being able to survive pretty much anything. Well, one of the biggest things that bothered me about the movie was one of the main character points about John McClane and the way he's written is he won't hurt an innocent person. He'll go out of his way. He'll put his own life in danger to save somebody and protect somebody who's innocent. And there's a scene in A Good Day to Die Hard where his son's driving away and being chased, and he's trying to keep up with him. So he's got to carjack a car. And in order to do that, he stops this one guy in his car, pulls the door open. I forget exactly how the scene goes down, but, you know, the guy starts yelling at him in Russian, as anybody would if you tried to steal their car. And he says something that this is where the writer screwed up. He said something that would have been funny if it was a bad guy, but the guy's speaking Russian. He's an innocent guy who's getting carjacked. McClane punches him in the face, says, "Speak English," gets into his car and drives off. And there couldn't have been anything less McClane about John McClane in that movie than that, because that is not who John McClane was. And I think it, on some level, I think it speaks to Willis as an actor. There are actors that will get on set, especially actors who do sequels, 2, 3, and 4 sequels to a movie, that defend their character's actions. And the fact that he read that on the page and clearly didn't, I'm assuming he didn't defend the actions of the character,
right,
and just did the line. I mean, it shows that, you know, got to give him credit. The man showed up, did the work. But, you know, I want Bruce Willis to care, you know. I want him to care about being John McClane. If Bruce Willis cares about being John McClane, it makes for a better movie, in my humble opinion.
You want it to be more than a check.
But why, you asked why I took the ad out. It's just because when this was before Fox was sold to Disney. But when they announced they were going to do another one, I just wanted them. I'm such a fan that I literally took money out of my savings to take out that ad, because I wanted them to know. I wanted Fox and Bruce Willis and the producer Lorenzo de Bonaventura. I just wanted them to make a good movie. I mean, that's really, I just like, make it good, you know? That's why I did it. And it was it was fun. I mean, I didn't think it would go viral or anything like that. I thought I'd troll people in the industry, but it became it was cool. The whole thing was cool. People liked the ideas that I put out there, and they thought it was a lot of fun. And, you know, you know, would I've done anything different? No. I mean, I don't think it was a waste. It was expensive, but it was worth every penny.
I'm going to try to, I know you referenced people to look it up. I'm going to try to find it and put it over this video so people can see it without having to go hunt it down. Just insert
or I
it here.
could email you a PDF of the ad if you'd like.
That'd be good.
There you go.
Did you get any pushback from it? Did you get any bad, like, did your phone ring and, hey man, what are you doing?
No. I mean, it was no is the answer to that question.
Okay.
You know, I was shocked. You listen, you know how the internet can be. I mean,
yeah.
Almost 99% of anything anybody said they loved it. They respected my passion for, you know, to go that far to do something like that. They liked, you know, I wrote an idea. I said, if they're going to make a new Die Hard movie, I said, lock McClane into a Supermax prison, which I thought would be great.
Die Hard in a prison.
Yeah, I think, you know, my plan, I wanted him to be, I thought it would be a good idea to put him in a prison, and a Supermax prison, one that's really hard to get out. I just
Is it kind of what was the Van Damme movie that they set in a prison? Was it Sudden
Death Warrant?
Death Warrant, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't want it like that. I wanted there to be. Yeah. We had beat out. There's a version of the story in the ad, and then my writing partner and I actually beat out a whole treatment, which deviated and changed a little bit from the ad. But you know, we had to believably put Willis in a prison. You know what I mean? Like why would he get there? And I remember when they were talking about making the movie, they were saying how they wanted to do, you know, they wanted it to be like Godfather 2. They didn't say Godfather 2. I called it that. Because they wanted to have an origin story with McClane, presumably in the early 1970s, sort of as a beat cop in New York. And then they wanted to have something happening in the present day and sort of go back and forth. And I thought it would be fun to tie something that happened in the past when he was a beat cop in the late 70s, affect him in the present day that would put him in jail. You know,
but would it have been, it wouldn't have, would you have wanted to see something like a Die Hard where he has these extreme circumstances, or would it have been more?
You can't. Die Hard, we already had that movie. We're watching it right now. You're seeing John McClane Die Hard. You know, up to this point, he was just a cop with an attitude and a problem with authority kind of guy. You're seeing him become you're seeing him become the John McClane we know and love in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He right here, he's just a good cop. He's investigating. He's writing down the names of the guys on, he's taking down information. But if he's running around in 1979, the streets of New York, dying hard, then it sort of negates the behavior and everything going on in this film, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I do think that. But I think a lot of people, I agree with you, but I think the ticket buying audience, which is less than it used to be, but the ticket buying audience would want to go see that just because they want a good time. I don't think people will go to see movies thinking about these things. They just want to go forget life and have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's people like you and me who are like, but what's the motivation? You can't. It's I think we think of. Oh,
watch this part right here.
Yes.
Look at this right here. This is definitely improv. Like that.
I also want to call out that all these things give us, and this is not mine. I've taken this from someone. I don't remember who. I think maybe Patrick Bromley from F This Movie. But the landmarks, like that poster on the wall, they give you a sense of space so that you know where you are. At all points in this movie, you have you know where you're at, and you're like, oh, he's in the place with the poster, or he's in the room with the open.
When he goes back later, he's like, where you have a sense where he is because you remember the poster on the wall.
Yes.
And that would go back, arguably, a good use of nudity to move the story forward. Because
you need it, man.
You remember, well, I don't know if you need it, but you remember that because it's a Playboy centerfold that they got pinned to the wall.
Yeah.
Because it is what that is, you remember, you're talking about the space and kind of knowing where it is. You remember it. You remember where he is.
Yep. I mean, it could have been a naked man, and we would have remembered that too, but we would have laughed. Could have been. We would have laughed.
We would have probably taken out the movie. What a great shot.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's hard not to want to keep watching.
I know.
Mayday, mayday.
Anyone copy Channel 9?
Kenwood walkie-talkies. It's a great brand. Kenwood.
Is it?
I just picked up a Kenwood record player, believe it or not. Vintage Kenwood record player. And it's nice.
I like Alan Rickman in the Harry Potter movies too.
I was gonna ask you, did you, because you've got kids, did they come, are they into Harry Potter?
Oh, they were. I mean, my youngest son, he's more interested in the Beatles. My older son, he watched them and really likes them. Excuse me. We talked recently about revisiting him again. Now he's a little older. My older son's really into horror. He loves horror.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna ask if they came through Harry Potter and then saw this movie, because I know you showed your kids a lot of these movies as they've gotten older. If they so Professor Snape is a terrorist in this movie?
Yeah. My older son Logan, he knew it was the same dude.
One of the things that I was gonna do, and I decided against it, but earlier today I was gonna go pick up a gray sweatshirt like that guy in the elevator is wearing and write "Now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho" on it. I was like, it's not a great idea. It sounds great on paper, and then I'm like, well, with YouTube and every video that I upload, I have to check if it has gun talk in it, if it has all these different things. It's like, yeah, that's kind of asking to be shut down or audited or something.
Yeah, I have my wife brought me an ugly Die Hard Christmas sweater.
Nice.
That says "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker" on it, and it's got lights and stuff. It's pretty funny. I was gonna wear it, but then I'm thinking I'm gonna be sitting in here for 2 hours with the door shut, with the projector on. It'll get hot in here, so yeah. I didn't wear it. Sorry, I'm not looking at you. I'm like I'm getting sucked into the movie. There's a really cool shot here that just, back in around the time this movie was shot, I'm going to assume it was 87-ish, but gas prices were so cheap.
Oh, nice.
And this is LA, mind you. 74 cents for a gallon of gas is just nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts. And in Jersey, around that time, it was 59 cents. That's just you go to LA now, it's what, $5-6? I don't know. It's expensive. What a great shot that was.
Even adjusted for inflation, that's really low. That's nothing.
It's just really low. It'll never be like that again.
I remember going on in the 90s, I remember filling up on 99 cents a gallon and driving 8 hours on it's on $12 worth of gas or something like that.
No, I can't remember when it's 99 cents. I remember maybe, I don't know. I remember it being a buck. I just remember in the 80s, it was dirt cheap. Another thing that's really smart, it's a nice way to sort of propel the passage of time, is watching how dirty his tank top gets as the movie progresses.
Yes. Good news.
Nice little detail. With these guys with their 80s Euro style hair.
I love it though. When that guy had the machine gun and he kind of squatted, I was like, oh, that's a lobby card freeze frame right there.
Marco there, he's got the mullet. Although I should be making fun of Marco. At this point, it's long on top, but I'm almost sporting a little mullet myself with my COVID hair.
It's 2020, man. You can do whatever you want.
True. I don't know if I want to go mullet though.
Go full Billy Ray.
Oh, look, see, when we know he's back.
And he kind of taps it. He's like, yeah.
I think that's more improv. I don't think that was scripted. I think it's just him getting into the character.
Okay. It's good set design too, because everything's got
It's
this
great.
industrial.
It's
know.
it's very difficult to figure out what's set and what was actually shot in the Fox building in Century City.
Yeah, we should mention this was the Fox building.
Yeah, I was there. When I started my career in this business as a brand manager for 20th Century Fox Film Entertainment. They'd flown us all out to LA and we had meetings in that building. And I just remember walking up to it like, oh my God, it's Nakatomi. Like I couldn't believe it. You could see in the lobby, you could see chips out of the wall still. And this was in the late 90s, but you could see chips out of the wall still from where they had set squibs off that just, kind of took little chunks out of the wall. Yeah, it was cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it was fun to be in there. And I just remember taking pictures of it and like, oh my God, it's, I'm in the Nakatomi building.
They couldn't have branded it better either because, I mean, they couldn't have known what a success this would be, but to have your headquarters in what is one of your most iconic movies, I mean, that's like...
I'm sure it's in the book and I know they talk about it, but I mean, it had to be, when they just, I'm curious now, like, I'd have to wonder if when they were writing it, they were like, oh, let's put it in a high rise. And they realized, oh shit, 20th Century Fox actually owns a high rise. We could shoot it there and save money. I mean, it seems like that would make sense.
Did they, I read something in the trivia about that. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking here. The location was decided upon late. This is Wikipedia. Location was decided upon late in the production by production designer Jackson DeGovia. The building was needed that was both available and mostly unoccupied. The under construction Fox Plaza offered both. Cinematographer Jan de Bont said that only 4 or 5 stories were occupied at the time. Extensive negotiations secured the building for filming with 2 main conditions: no filming during the day and no damage from explosions. But I did see little...
You saw Squib Chips.
I did see Squib Chips.
Squib Chips is my band name, by the way.
There you go.
Punk rock band. Here we go. We're getting to some famous...
Yeah, come to the coast. Get together. Have a few days.
It's like he was right here.
They said that...
Did you see in the link that I sent you for this, the agenda for our Zoom meeting was, it said agenda 1, come out to the coast.
Oh,
2,
I didn't see that.
a few laughs. Get together. There's 2. 1, come out to the coast. 2, get together. 3, have a few laughs.
These guys are all running around. He's so close too. They don't realize they could end this right now and kill him. All right, so you're gonna kill me. I'm gonna step out for 2 seconds.
That's fine.
I don't want you to pause it. I want to get some more coffee. I just need to stay frosty.
You said don't pause it, right? You said don't pause, right? And he's gone. Okay. Well, it's just you and me now. One of the things that I read on IMDb trivia, which is, as we all know, fact, and not it doesn't need to be verified, is that Bruce Willis got $5 million for this movie. And that it had to be approved by the head of the studio, which is kind of crazy. That's a lot of money for 1988. I mean, we're shooting in 1987, I'm guessing. So we're coming off Moonlighting, but $5 million? That's for the guy from Blind Date. Oh no, now the audio is bleeding through. It's fair use, YouTube. It's fair use. This is a work of criticism we're talking about. So here's the thing with the later John McClane from other movies, from the future movies, by the way, Family Matters, same guy, same character. It's not the same character, but it could be. It could be close because everybody knows. Hey, Family Matters, right? When you were younger, we were like, it could be the same guy, right? Like he's a cop, Reginald VelJohnson. It's him. We would always kind of make believe, like on the
that he was. I never
in school
watched
and stuff. Yeah.
Look how dirty his shirt is there. Oh, it's the best. This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. You run out of table. Oh, is that, did I miss that already?
Yeah.
Or no, that's coming up here.
No, it's coming up. It's coming up. You missed him basically just looking intense in the air vent. One of the things I was talking about while you were gone is that he got paid $5 million for this movie, according to what I've read.
No, it's true. And this is in that book. When he got the $5 million, all the other actors' salaries that had more experience or were bigger than him all went up $5 million because they're like, well, Bruce Willis, who before this, I think he was in Blind Date, which was not a huge success. And I can't remember if Sunset either, I'd have to look up, but Sunset, he did Blind Date and Sunset, both Blake Edwards movies, both of them did not perform well. But he wasn't a proven box office star. But when he got $5 million for this, everybody else's salary either shot up to $5 million or went up $5 million from whatever their asking price was.
It's crazy, right? Like, I mean, did he just have like the best agent in Hollywood, or they just knew he was the guy?
You know, they had. I mean, I don't know. It had to be maybe as a combination of both. I mean, they had to know he was the guy because I mean, I don't know. Did you ever watch Moonlighting or no?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, Willis is brilliant in Moonlighting. So much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, and he brings a little bit of that to this character. You know, that smirk and that, you know, cocky attitude. It makes it, you know, it adds to it.
It feels like it was written for him, but I don't know that it was.
I like this. Said if they were going to remake Die Hard, like maybe 10 or so years ago, I mean, I know the thought of that just, I know. The only actor I think could pull it off, no. They tried it with Channing Tatum in that White House movie or whatever it was called, White House Down or whatever it was. John Hamm could have been John McClane maybe back in, you know, the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Early mid 2000s. He could. Oh, here you go. I love it. Shoot him. Like, why doesn't he shoot him? Because I know why. Because he's trying to not kill people.
Trying not to escalate this.
What's the matter? You run out of tables. I love it. What is that? Is that a dude there with a gun?
Yeah.
I can't. Oh, it is? Okay, yeah. That's a shot that you don't, in the old VHS, those pan and scan, you didn't get that out of the case.
Yeah, those pan and scans could be brutal.
Oh, they were.
Depending on, and sometimes they do like a.
Wait.
Here we go. Yep.
Thanks for the advice.
All right. There we go.
That's live.
Thanks for the advice.
What were you saying?
I don't remember. What was I saying?
I had $10 on those assholes. Did I miss you say that? So what happens here? Does this Bruce Willis throw the dead body? I never quite. Does he?
Yeah, I mean,
Bruce
that's my read.
I mean, because I think that there's a tiny little jump in logic here. Like there's a hole in the window, but the window is still there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the body's flying out. So did Bruce Willis? I'm assuming he threw the body out. You got my message?
Yeah.
It's definitely the dude.
Yeah.
And now who's firing at him right there? Like, it's not him, obviously. All right, so the hole's bigger. So Bruce Willis threw
the hole's bigger, but I still don't know if the hole is like a human being size. You think it is? Look, it's moving magic, man.
I mean, he would have to lift that guy up. I mean, that guy definitely was like 200 pounds. He would have to lift him up. Nope. Turned his car into Swiss cheese. That's good. It's good stuff. But you see what I mean? When going back to where we started with the Christmas stuff, there's been there's no Christmas thing going on here.
Yeah.
You know,
I
nothing.
wouldn't care one way or the other if people the issue that I have with it, and I don't even bring this up most of the time, but people get so forceful with it, and it's like this huge
They
debate,
do.
and it's become this really hot button issue. And I don't
The problem is
feel like there's an argument that this
younger people. Remember, if you grew up with this,
Here we go.
I mean, if you grew up with it and saw it in the movies, this was a big hit in the summer of 1988. This is what you call the summer blockbuster.
I don't ever remember these conversations happening until about 5 years ago.
Yeah, but you know, somebody that always watched this on DVD or rented it at Blockbuster, they might think differently. You know,
I don't remember it ever being marketed as a Christmas movie either. Maybe later on.
No, later on they did. They Fox caught on to it, and of course they certainly took advantage of it. But you know, and that's all part of it too.
But you're right. It's not playing a part in the story. It's just a setting.
Yeah.
It's the wallpaper.
That's great. He's doing that on purpose, obviously, to let him know he knows a lot about them.
I think it's a really good script.
Oh, it's brilliant.
30th floor computer screen aside.
No, I like the 80s computers. You
No,
know, it's
your complaint about the
why
did you just tell him to go up?
Why didn't he tell him? I'm just saying. Oh, they're the only ones left in the building. All right, well, you know, information that would have been helpful 5 minutes earlier. Just saying.
Like, I don't have all day. Tell me where I'm supposed to go.
I like that they reference Rambo, so that in this universe, Rambo still exists.
Yeah.
That Sylvester Stallone is actually Sylvester Stallone in this universe then.
Hold on, isn't it Planet Hollywood? Wasn't that Schwarzenegger, Stallone, and Bruce Willis?
Yes, it was.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know if they really owned it so much as they were just paid to be.
Well, yeah.
I mean, who knows?
It's like the way Kiss owns that was a burger place somewhere.
Who knows? I didn't know. They own everything.
They do.
It's hard not to want to keep watching. Like I'm getting sucked into the movie.
I know. Hey, Roy Rogers.
Famous sign movie.
We're still synced up really well too, because I can hear your dialogue and it matches my screen.
So we caught up.
I can get the jump on everybody.
Richard Atherton. He always played a dick too.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Isn't he the guy who has no dick in Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah, I think that is him.
And then he's also in Real Genius. He's the dick in that too. It's like he just gets hard to be a dick.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna verify.
Yeah, great use of humor in this too.
And he's also in The Day of the Locust, which just came out on Blu-ray from Imprint.
That guy, and then
Atherton, yeah.
And then that I forget her name. That's playing the co-anchor. She's in like all the Joel Silver movies.
I'm looking for conditioner. Do you have conditioner?
And you know what's good one we should watch sometime is Action Jackson. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, but it's been a long time. I think Warner Archive put that out recently on Blu-ray, and I think I picked it up.
I got that. Yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
Worth every penny.
Yeah, we should. We should definitely do
It's a
that.
good-
Oh man, Carl Weathers is just.
I think Action Jackson. I mean, your viewers might disagree with me. I think Action Jackson, in terms of pure entertainment, is better than Cobra. I think it's better. I think it's a better movie than Cobra. Just saying. I love Cobra.
So why does it have to be a
ridiculous.
competition, Eric?
It's not. I just think in terms of like, if it's not a competition. If you said you could only watch one of we're only going to watch one of these tonight. Which one would you pick? I probably would pick Action Jackson. Just saying.
Doesn't it have a big climax at like a window in a? Doesn't they like blow the window out of a building or something? I gotta go.
Everything up. Yeah, it's directed by Craig R. Baxley, and it's produced by Joel Silver. And Craig T. Nelson's the bad guy. Vanity's the female lead in it, and Carl Weathers is Action Jackson. It's so good.
I love Carl Weathers.
How could you not?
You guys watching The Mandalorian at your house?
I am ashamed to admit. It's not because I don't like it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I mean, I watched like the first 2 episodes of season 1. I am that far behind.
Well,
So I hear it's really good. So I feel like a dick, but no, I'm behind.
Carl Weathers directed one of the ones in season 2. So
he's a good. Is he a good director? Is he good?
Well, I want to say yeah, but he's gotten so there's a shot in the episode that he directed where there's a crew member in the aired episode. They went back and digitally removed him because it's Disney Plus and you can do that. But that's not great. But he's in the scene he was directing, so maybe he just didn't see it.
Was the crew member on it initially and then they caught it and went back and removed it and then put it back up?
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's like in Game of Thrones, leaving the coffee cup on the table.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Yes.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's, on streaming, it's like it never happened because they can fix it instantaneously, just like the next day.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't hate streaming, but I mean, I'm sure, and you're with me on this. You know, I have just an appreciation for collecting and just owning a copy of it. You know.
Yeah.
I do like when they come, which I'm guilty of never doing it because I just honestly I haven't ever looked into it for MVD, but I do like it when you get a digital copy with the movie because and I don't often use the digital copies. I mean, I have like a Voodoo account. But like when I go on vacation or something like that, or I bring my iPad, I got to tell you, I used to bring like CD wallets and fill them up with movies and bring a portable Blu-ray or DVD player with me on vacation. And it's just nice to bring your iPad and knowing that, you could literally bring 1,000 movies with you. If you have a down night or whatever, you're rained out, you're stuck in your hotel or wherever you are on vacation, that you can, have access to your, collection. So I do like digital and streaming, but I just like owning it. I hate, you know what I hate? Occasionally, as many movies as I own, I hate it when I think of something I don't have and I go to stream it and it's not on Netflix or it's not on Amazon and it's not on Disney. And I either have to buy it. Like last week, a Christmas movie that I wanted to watch, and I own it on DVD, but it's like non-anamorphic. It looks like shit. Yeah. Was the Ref? I don't know if you've ever seen the Ref. It's a great
Dennis Leary. Yeah.
Yes. Dennis Leary, Kevin Spacey. Really funny Christmas movie, and it's not on Blu-ray. The DVD transfer sucks, and I looked on like Comcast. I looked on Netflix. I looked on Hulu. Not on any of those platforms. I ended up having to buy a copy for $18 from iTunes, but sorry, bump my thing.
It's cool.
But I wish it was. I wish I had it on Blu-ray because then whenever I want to watch it, I have a nice, beautiful HD copy of it. So
people say a lot. I mean, I'm a physical media proponent. I spend significant amount of my time talking about physical media. Stuff you put out.
Yeah, I mean, I spend a significant amount of my time, when I'm not buying it, I'm coming up with stuff to put out.
Making the big decisions.
I am making big decisions.
But people say to me, they'll be like, well, everything, they're like, it's just clutter. Look at behind you, because in my, the filming room, there's just a wall. It's just a wall of movies. Be like, look at all the clutter, and everything you want is on streaming. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
And I think maybe that exposes what people are watching, like maybe what the younger generation are watching. Because if you want, like with Disney Plus and all that stuff, the big stuff's there. Like if you want to watch Marvel movies, you watch Predator, I'm sure that's somewhere too. But the Ref,
you gotta, the Ref, or let's flip it the other way. Like if you're a Star Wars completist, you can't own a nice Blu-ray box set of The Mandalorian. like that bothers me. Like I'm a completist, so like all those, not, I'll say it, all those Adam Sandler movies on Netflix, none of them, they all it all kind of stops at Pixels and then goes to Netflix. So none of those movies are out on disc. And there's a couple of them that I would have definitely bought.
Yeah. Here's our Breakfast Club connection, by the way.
What's it? Oh yeah.
Paul Gleason. A few years back, I looked up. I wanted to see what John Wayne movies were on Netflix. And you know how many John Wayne movies were on Netflix when I checked? This was like 2017. Zero John Wayne movies. The man made like dozens and dozens of westerns and war movies, and I mean, you name it. Not one of them was on Netflix. Maybe they've rectified that since then, but it's not everything is on streaming. So we do what we do.
Or like sometimes my my son and I were going through like we did all Tarantino movies in order. And like if you want to do that, you can't do that with streaming because they're with different, some of them are with different studios. Excuse me, some of them are streaming, some of them aren't. You can't, like, you have to find them. Or Scorsese movies are, are on Warner Brothers and Sony, and like they're all over. So they're not, you can't find them all in one place where I can start at Who's That Knocking at My Door and end with The Irishman. You know what I mean? But if you own them all, if you have a physical copy, I can literally go through a filmmaker's filmography from start to finish in chronological order. And that's like something about collecting that I think is getting lost, in the present, with the streaming, because all the studios are locking their content down. Like all the Disney, all the Universal stuff's on Peacock. All the Disney stuff is on Disney and Hulu. Like all the, the Fox stuff is on Disney and Hulu. Like you literally have to, if I want that studio's movies, I got to subscribe to that company's streaming set. If I want this studio's movies, I got to subscribe to this, Oh, it's great.
Shout out to this guy too for being in so many awesome action.
Oh yeah, he is. He tortured Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. He with the car battery and the electrocution.
He's even in
I love this
Andy Sedaris movies. There's Malibu Bay.
Yeah.
Late night.
He always played a good. He's a great henchman.
Yeah, he's just got the look.
It's just such a nice touch with the candy bar. Because I would totally do that too.
Yeah.
It makes him human. That he's not some mindless henchman robot. And little thing like that. I mean, I don't think he even has any lines in this movie, but a little moment like that gives his character personality.
That's right. It does. Well, going back to the physical media conversation, you're doing great work with it, and I think you've brought that perspective to what you do with your acquisitions and those MVD Rewind collection titles are. I mean, we talked about it. We did hey, if anybody's watching this commentary and you haven't seen the interview that I did with Eric, I'm going to link to it. I'll put in the video description. But we talk about how you are a fan, and it looks good. That crunch bar looks good. You're a fan first, right? And then you bring all the extras you can forward. You do you put the value into the disc because you are a collector and you value the physical experience that you don't get if you're just streaming. You don't get even the poster. I mean, those posters have to be they have to have a cost associated with them. So that's a decision.
It's a little bit, but I mean, like, listen, we don't sell the numbers that a Criterion does. So we need to keep, it's important that we keep the costs within reason, but I want to include something. And I've seen people put pictures up on social media where they're framing the posters now in their movie rooms or whatever. And like literally in order, they got like the posters and it's just so cool.
That's so cool.
Part of the other reason I did that is not all, but many of the movies that we do have actors in them that do autograph conventions, and like Chiller and Monster Mania and Texas Frightmare, things like that. And I would a lot of the times, of course, they have pictures at their tables, or people come up and have DVDs signed. And I thought, let's put a mini poster in there, and somebody could get their mini poster, signed. By it's
awesome.
a little something extra,
The attention to detail.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of cool.
Even the little stickers, you talked about the little stickers, the rental stickers having such connection to your personal history with some of this stuff.
It does. I mean, like when I go to like say a Goodwill, I pour through the stacks of VHS that you have there, not because I necessarily want to buy the titles, but if they're like tapes that made their way from a video store, I'm literally looking for new stickers to scan. I'll like buy a tape just to scan the stickers off the, just to scan the stickers on the front, because if you look at all the Rewind slip covers, I don't repeat. Everyone's unique in its stylization. We try anyway. We have a cool one. I can't tell you what title it is. We have a really cool one coming up, which is going to be my favorite slip cover. I can't wait for.
Really?
To see it. Oh, it's so
you're gonna have
good.
to tell me after we cut this. I gotta know.
I will.
Okay.
I will. But it's just so cool.
Isn't
Such
it weird though
that to a legendary video store. I couldn't be prouder of it.
Oh wow. Okay. It's crazy, right? That we've come from the VHS days, and then we do the DVD thing, and now we're in Blu-ray, and we're looking back at the roots of, like, when I would see there was a time when if I found like a used DVD and it had rental stickers on it, I'd take them off. But now I'm like, oh no, that's a relic of where this came from and the story.
I know. I did the same thing. I mean, I feel the same way.
Like we took it for granted at the time, but now it's like a map to where road. Oh, nice explosion.
That's so good.
It's a roadmap to where that thing came from, the life that it had.
It is, and I just skipped over Laserdisc, not giving any props to Laserdisc. I'm kidding.
See, I never couldn't afford Laserdiscs in my.
Well, you have to remember, part of the reason I started collecting Laserdiscs, because once I caught on the widescreen thing, that was the main reason I was buying them later on.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to remember, back in the 80s, early 90s, VHS tapes to collect, if you wanted to get them new, they had, $80, $90, $100 and higher suggested retail prices.
Yep.
However, Laserdiscs had $20, $30, $40 suggested retail prices. So you'd have a new movie come out, like, for example, when Die Hard came out on VHS, I think it was one of the first titles to break the $100 barrier of price point. However, on Laserdisc, it was $39.95. So I didn't have to wait. And it usually took about a year for a rental VHS to be repriced to a sell-through price point. So it would go from $99.95 to $29.95. But Laserdisc was $39.95 price point. You could go to, say, Tower Records and buy them. You could buy Die Hard for $29.95.
That was still a lot of money at the time, but it wasn't what the VHS would have cost, like 30 or $40. What do you want to say? 1988 money, 1989.
Well, 1988 money, you wanted to buy, I remember specifically the Naked Gun, 1988, right?
Yeah.
Naked Gun comes out on VHS. It had a $90 suggested retail price. If you wanted to buy that, you probably were spending $90 or $80 to $70 to $90 on VHS. Mm-hmm. However, Laserdisc, that was $24 or $29.95 Laserdisc. And this is beautiful. During the VHS Beta Wars, the VHS would be $90. Beta, I bought this at Earl's Video on Beta. The Naked Gun on Beta was $29 or $26.95. So Beta was $26.95. VHS was $89.95. So there's nothing cooler than having, back then for me anyway, there was nothing cooler than having a brand new movie on street date that was a full price tape, and like I had it. My friends would be like, "Oh my God, where'd you get that? That's still out on. It's only out on rental." They'd say it's only out on rental. So, but then in '89 I bought a Laserdisc player. Like I remember buying Ghostbusters 2 was 14 or no Ghostbusters 2. That was sell-through price from the get-go. Look Who's Talking was literally you could buy for $14.95 on Laserdisc at the time, or $19.95. It was dirt cheap.
Wow.
It was just cool.
So fast forward now.
Glass.
Go ahead.
Fuck about glass. Sorry. Sorry.
So fast forward now, and you're making, you're responsible for MVD discs and stuff, and people complain about, that we've come so far, and we have such success, and it's people still complain, right?
I know they complain. I never say this, but sometimes, and if any of you are collectors who are watching this, they don't know what it's like to, for example, when Terminator 2 and Aliens came out on Laserdisc, the collector's edition box set, the very collector's edition of T2, which I still have the Laserdisc box set because it's a beautiful package. That thing was $150, right? $150. The exact same material that was on like 4 discs or 6 discs in that box set for $150. You can go on Amazon right now and buy it for $5.99. So to be able to buy, say Split Second on Amazon right now, it's $26.99 or $24.99. I mean, that is a bargain compared to when you were coming up. When I was coming up, if you wanted to buy VHS and you wanted it as a new release and it wasn't sell through from the get-go, you had to pay $80 for it. If you wanted it on Laserdisc, it may have been anywhere from $30 to $50. So, it's I feel badly, but if they want, I think enough collectors understand that if they, it's important for MVD and a Rewind to be profitable enough for me to keep buying more movies, to keep releasing more films.
Yep.
So, but yeah, like
that's what I wanted you to say. I wanted you to.
Yeah, I know, but Aliens. I remember Aliens. I think I bought the Aliens box set. That was I remember being $99.95. It was Alien and Aliens. It was like in a cardboard box. Lifted up. It had all the discs on there. The Abyss was over $100. Terminator 2 was $150 box set, and that's what it was. I loved DVDs because when DVDs started coming out, all the stuff that I was paying, $50 to $100 for, was now $10 and $20.
Yeah.
So.
I suppose there's something to be said too for the fact that the more investment that you have in something, the more appreciation you're going to have for it. It doesn't feel disposable. So,
it's tougher to, some of the stuff it's, like, do I need my Terminator 2 Laserdisc set? I don't, but, just like you said, I spent $150 for it. I'm not throwing that away,
That's right.
Would I get rid of an old Blu-ray of I don't know. Maybe if it didn't have any sentimental value, but I'm not getting rid of that T2 box. That's just good. The packaging is way too cool.
Yeah, it's a relic of relic's not the best word. It's a memento of that time.
Memento, it really is. I saved a few of them. Like it's funny. I'm just gonna get up for a second.
All right. It's like the emotional part of the.
No, I'm just like looking, like even in my movie room here, and granted, I don't have players anymore. But do you remember this format, this CED format?
Dude, I just saw some great CEDs at a thrift store the other day.
They're so great. One of the before in my house growing up, before we had a VHS player, we had a CED player, and the beauty of this format was these are all priced to own, so like Sears would have them, so you could just go to Sears and buy CDs for $15 and $20, which was great. I mean, I've always been into collecting, and I did save a couple of them. Like, obviously, this is like a good reason, like why I wouldn't throw this away. You know what I mean? It's Star Wars, man. It's
now, is that a multi-disc unit, or were there's one?
It depends. The long movies would come with more than one of these.
Because I don't know if the viewers will be able to see this, but West Side Story. I saw this yesterday. That was 2.
That was 2.
Two units. Two. What would you call them? 2 discs. 2 discs.
Yeah. No. Well. And it's funny. I don't have a penknife in my pocket. I usually carry one. So on the inside of these, for those who aren't in the know, so first of all, if it had a white case, it was mono. If it had the colored shell, it was stereo. So this is stereo at the bottom, stereo. And your player, you would turn on the switch and you'd stick this thing in. These two things, oh shit, I keep bumping into this. I know with all these wires, because my wireless didn't work. You put this thing in. This part right here would come out, stay in the machine with the disc staying in the machine. And each side played an hour. And then when it got done to one side, you'd go back in, stick this in, you'd flip it, and then put it back in again to play the other side. The beauty of it was the quality at the time was better than VHS. I don't think it's quite as good as Laserdisc, but it's basically vinyl and played with the needle. And the beauty of this was because this is in a protective shell, you never touch the disc. So the disc would never get scratched and they never get damaged, which was I think is a pretty cool thing. The problem is, though, if the disc never gets scratched or damaged, then you're never rebuying it again.
Yeah.
Which just doesn't practical. And then I had to, well, though I might order the import Laserdisc. I picked this up not that long ago.
Nice.
Bugsy Malone. This is not out.
There's a region-free Bugsy Malone Blu-ray.
Yeah, I know. I want to order it.
That complete Beatles.
Yeah.
That got me into in 1995. That's one of the things that got me into the Beatles.
Good movie. Not on disc.
No.
This Laserdisc though, not in great shape. But
I think we just talked over the death of Hart Bachner.
Oh, I know.
We just abandoned the commentary. Talking about
I know. Well, we
CDs and Laserdisc.
We're still a commentary. And then I found this at a store recently. I always used to like these. They're samplers. They just have a bunch of clips and stuff on there.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like scenes from T2 and Dances with Wolves. I don't know.
That's cool.
Then, of course, I have, for whatever reason, I don't understand, I have a copy of The Empire Strikes Back on Laserdisc.
Nice. And that's going to be the original, the last version before the terrible CGI editions.
Yeah, but did you buy the versions that the dudes that like restored the original versions using they scanned a print and combined it with footage from all the releases and edited it together,
like the fan made ones?
I don't know, it's a fan made. I think they like literally restored Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and you can buy them on eBay. I mean, you can download them. Yeah,
I have those. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have those.
Yeah, they're great. I mean,
and now there's people doing them 4K too. They've got prints and they're scanning. They've got New Hope and Return of the Jedi scanned in 4K, but they haven't done Empire. I think they can't find a great source for Empire yet.
I wish somebody would get a print of True Lies in the Abyss and scan that. I don't listen. I wouldn't never condone buying bootlegs, but
Cameron's going to hold it up, then that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I was like,
it's all on him too.
I would buy it temporarily, at least until they put out a legit version. At this point, especially with physical media being in the mature stage, do I hold my breath that the Abyss or True Lies will ever come out? I don't.
No.
I don't. I feel bad, but.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen because he's had the story I've heard is that Cameron has had the restorations like on his desk waiting for his approval for years, but he has to approve them, and he says he doesn't have time.
And how could anybody not have time during COVID?
Oh, because he's working on Avatar 2 through 5.
Come on. No one's asking for more Avatar, man. I'm not saying I wouldn't see another Avatar movie, but if he never made another Avatar, I wouldn't complain like, oh my God, I thought we were getting another one of these.
I think there's more to it than that, but I don't know what the actual story is.
I don't want to shit on Avatar. I very much enjoyed Avatar. It's a great 3D movie. But I would be more excited to see Avatar if he put out True Lies in the Abyss. As
Let me
a
ask you about
collector,
this scene real quick.
okay, let's talk about Die Hard now.
I want to know the whole thing about like I killed a kid, man. That's so cliche now, but I don't think it had been done before this movie. I feel like this is kind of the thing that started the cliche. Does that sound right?
I don't know. I mean, I think they need to give his character something that a moment that McClane and Powell can bond over.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know the answer to your question. Do I think I didn't know killing a cop accidentally shooting a kid was a cliche.
I feel like in later movies, like throughout the 90s, that would pop up from time to time. It was like, I accidentally shot a kid. I think they even parody it in one of the National Lampoon movies. I can't remember which one. Rest in peace, Hart Bachner's character.
Look at him. He's dead. They killed Ellis. He's so good. FBI's here. The FBI. He's buttoning his jacket. Paul Gleason's good. He's such a good bureaucrat. Agent Johnson, Special Agent Johnson. No relation.
No relation.
Robert Davi, he's a legend.
Yeah.
He's good. He was in what's that movie? With Arnold Schwarzenegger, where I was gonna say Red Heat. He's not in Red Heat. Raw Deal. Did you see Raw Deal?
Yes, but I don't remember. That's one I haven't seen in a long time too. You keep pulling.
It's okay.
Yeah. You keep asking me about movies I haven't seen in like 25 years.
I know, man. These are like stuff I visited. Well, it's different. I'll say this. Part of the reason why a lot of these I've revisited, is I've been rewatching a lot of stuff with my son. So
nice.
It's really fun to watch his reaction. Like recently, we had watched the Rocky movies a few years ago, and I think he was a little young. He didn't dislike them back then, but he wanted to rewatch them in order from Rocky 1 all the way through Creed 2. And he really liked them. And I'm so happy that he has the same appreciation for Rocky 5 as I do. So, but after that, we started picking off other Stallone movies, and we watched Tango and Cash and Cobra and Over the Top, and I lost my train of thought. We
were talking about Robert Davi, and you were talking
Robert
about
Davi. Yeah, we were talking about so we've been going through a lot of the older movies like that, and the reason why they're probably fresh in my mind is I've been watching more of those lately. So
I think that's maybe that's in the Schwarzenegger. There was like a weird Walmart exclusive Schwarzenegger set where they dropped his Hercules movie. What was the name? It's like over here, but I'm not going to get it.
Oh, did you saw that new one you're talking about, right?
No, his first movie, like his
Hercules in New York.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah, he just had that was an MGM title. By my memory,
but it's been obscure. That's the thing, is like it never had a Blu-ray release, and then it comes out in this Walmart exclusive like 6-pack. And I had to pick it up because it had that movie in it. I'm the completist, right?
Yeah, so, I know, but it's for me, and I'm not disrespecting Schwarzenegger's filmography, but for me, it starts with Conan the Barbarian.
What about Pumping Iron?
It's a documentary. I know he's in Hercules in New York. He's in Scavenger Hunt. He's in Pumping Iron. and I think there's one or two. Stay Hungry or something like that. Stay Hungry. Is that it?
That sounds right. That does sound right.
But I don't need that. I don't need those. I don't count those as just
he's
like
in a Western too. What's the Western that he's in?
Just like Van Damme. You don't need to own Monaco Fever if you're a Van Damme, please. You can live without it. I can live without the 70s Schwarzenegger titles.
Okay.
I start. This is me. I start with Conan.
Okay.
Everything past Conan. The only ones I don't own is Around the World in 80 Days. And you mentioned Walmart. There's some new movie in Walmart that he's in that just looks terrible. And I don't know if I can bring myself to buy it.
You're talking about Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, did you see that thing? Hold on.
Is it the one where he's it's got Jackie Chan in it?
Yes, that's it. What? Oh shit, I keep pulling this. Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember the name. I know what you're talking about. And I was like, well, that's it looks super direct to video.
All right, yeah, look at that thing. Like I'm not gonna buy it. And maybe when you re-edit this thing, if you want to put the picture up on the screen, I'm not disrespecting Lionsgate or the filmmakers. I just can't do it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought all of his other stuff. I don't even mind direct to video. I mean, I bought Aftermath, Killing Gunther. I have all those, but this one, I got to draw the line here.
Sabotage. Did you pick up Sabotage?
I did pick up Sabotage, but that's not direct to video. That's David
true.
Ayer.
That's true. Yeah. I can't find it now. On topic, have you been picking up all the Bruce Willis direct to video movies?
I do. Yeah, I do. I have them all. I think I need Hard Kill and Trauma Center. The only two I don't have.
What's the verdict on some of those newer ones?
They're not great. I mean, they're just okay.
They're okay? Okay.
Well, I mean,
sometimes the stuff can be bad. So
no, but the problem is Willis is having produced a few independent films. They're shooting Willis out in a day and a half. He's usually, on a laptop in a high rise, directing the action from a phone, and he doesn't get involved until the third act, albeit briefly.
Well, that's kind of like Stallone with those escape plan movies now. There's two sequels.
The first one's good.
Yeah.
Second one's not great. I'll defend the third one to the end. I watched that this year, and I thought it was pretty great. Devin Sawa, amazing in it, and puts up a good fight. My only complaint is he's got a great fight scene with Stallone, and it ain't long enough.
I can't find this movie. I can't find
I mean, I look up Arnold's filmography. Or did I?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. What's happening on screen? But we didn't talk about the Hans Gruber pretend where he's like, the American.
Just happened.
What do you think about that? Does it work for you?
It doesn't. But I don't. The more you watch the film, you'll realize that. I think at first I thought he was just not a great actor doing an American accent. Then I realized I think it was a choice by the actor to do it bad. It's Hans Gruber doesn't know how to speak like an American, so he's doing a bad American accent. I think Bruce Willis knows it the whole time. Boom! Love that. Oh, what's up, Marco?
Is this what we're talking about? Iron Mask?
Yes. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I won't do it. Can't do it. No
Early
Iron
1700 Mask. Cartographer Jonathan Green is back to map the Russian Far East. What?
I'm not watching it. It's ain't gonna happen. I got too many movies that I own that I still have to watch. Shoot the glass.
Hold up, though. Hold up. Guess who else is in this? Rutger Hauer.
Shoot the glass. I don't care.
Okay.
Sorry. Did you watch the trailer? You tell me if you're watching that. I'd rather watch a Bruce Willis, Emmett Pearl at Grindstone movie.
Watch Bruce Willis on the computer. That gunfire is drowning out your mic.
I know. I love it. It's my subwoofer.
You got the full surround sound experience over there.
When I I moved here, I took a look at the space in the basement. I said, I am building a screening room. And part for two reasons. One, because not only because I like to watch movies, but also when I do acquisitions, I like to review people's content the way they want it to be seen. Not only you can't always get to a theater, and it's nice to be able to look at a film on a full big screen. In my case, it's about 10, 12 feet diagonally.
Served you well in 2020 too, because you can't.
It did, yeah. I miss going. I got to tell you, I miss going to the movies.
I do too.
I did go see Bad Boys this year, so I got there once this year. Did you see any this year?
Yeah, I saw like 6, I think.
Wow, you got more in it then.
But because I had the AMC A list, and you could go, it's $20 a month, and you can go 3 times a week. So
really?
I was seeing it. Yeah, it's almost free, man. It was just like,
no, but I thought that's what put like Movie Pass out of business, and they were, or I don't know what Movie Pass was charging, but that seems like a good deal.
Yeah, I didn't do Movie Pass because there were too many.
Because they were blocking half the movies.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, you could go see Marvel movies opening night. You could go see. It didn't matter. So yeah, I was seeing everything. And then this happened.
That blood looks real. Like that's
it does.
That's quality fake blood. And the thing that's great about this, and people, it's harder. Maybe it's harder to appreciate now. But you got to remember, at the time that Die Hard came out, you had Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Chuck Norris,
Van Damme.
Van Damme. This is '88, so Van Damme was just starting. But like most of the action heroes look like Arnold and Sly were these big, muscular, hulking guys that killed hundreds of people. They never really got hurt. And like to see like Bruce Willis get hurt, and especially now, I mean, back then, you watch an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie or a Stallone movie, you never believe for a second that those guys weren't going to make it to the end of the movie. With this, I'm thinking Bruce Willis John McClane could die. He's like bleeding. He was all hurt, and he starts crying here. I mean, like it was something you just didn't see it's something you just didn't see in movies back then.
He was human. Yeah.
He was very human. And I mean, I could be wrong here. I will give credit to in First Blood when do you remember when Stallone, did you see First Blood?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so like when he hits the tree and his arm's bleeding, and he's got to like sew it up. That was kind of a first because you didn't see your heroes get injured like that. I like that they did that, and I don't know if that had any bearing on movies that came after it, but I
think it did.
I think it helps add an element of danger to the proceedings, and with this movie, especially back in '88, we didn't know if this was gonna, if your hero was gonna make it or not. It could have been one of those movies where he saves the day but dies in the end. The movie was called Die Hard, so you didn't know.
That's true. Well, and to go back to your point about First Blood, at the end of that movie, in the script, the character is supposed to die, as he does in the book.
Yeah.
But Stallone had it rewritten so that he has this big, like, mental, like he breaks down. He's talking about his friends getting blown up in Vietnam and stuff. So it was another humanizing moment.
Well, you saw the deleted scenes. They shot the scene with him dying.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a rewrite or last minute change.
He didn't like it because he felt like it wasn't fair to my understanding. This is coming from, there's a documentary. A documentary.
Oh, wait, we got to pause here.
All right.
Rick Dukeman, and I think this might be you'd have to look it up, but I think that's his first movie, his first appearance on screen. Because he owns The Burbs.
Yes.
He's so good in The Burbs.
Let me check.
And Little Monsters, he's also in.
Now out on Blu-ray.
He's very Rick Dukeman-y in this movie. Look at him.
Authorization. How about the United States fucking government? Who's the free? Or you lose your job.
I love it here. I'm sorry. I gotta hear him. Shut it down. Shut down the whole thing. Look at his
Yeah, Central. Yeah, this is Walt.
He was in an episode of Moonlighting.
Yeah.
Say, listen. Would it be possible for you to turn off grid 212?
212.
Maybe I
The
should
whole
go
grid.
later. Hey, no shit, it's my ass. I got a big problem with you. Shut it down. Shut it down now.
That's so good.
He's done a few things before this, but this is
I love the Bird.
he was
This one we
in
watched
Spaceballs
together.
before this.
Yes, he had a brief part in Spaceballs. As one of the henchmen of the
Gremlins 2, The Last Boy Scout, Encino Man.
Last Boy Scouts good work. It's such good camera work and cinematography here. Look, lens flares before J.J. Abrams. It makes it. I mean, that's Spielbergian, that shot.
Yes.
He's staring off. The angle, it's bigger than life. It's so great. Again, we're not getting any Christmas.
I don't know. Is this piece of classical music in the Nutcracker or anything?
It might be. I don't know.
I don't know.
But it just is, like I said, it's fun to watch Christmas. If you're asking me to make, a judgment call, I say not a Christmas movie.
Shut them down.
Yeah.
Let them sweat for a while, then give them helicopters. Right up the ass.
I think that.
No, the other one that air
it's
support ready to lift off in 5 minutes.
great.
Damn right, fully armed. We're on the way.
What do you do with those things? I don't even know what bearer bonds is. I guess I just know that they're worth money.
Yeah, that's a good question. When they pop up in movies, like, what do you do with them? How are they
I
going
mean, how do you spend that?
Yeah. You got a guy in the Cayman
Yeah.
Islands who's
A
going to.
bearer bond guy.
Yeah. Oh, I got a guy for that.
So did you ever play this PlayStation 1 Die Hard game?
I did. I have it. I
You
still
do?
have it. Because, you can play PlayStation 1 games into PlayStation 3.
If you have a first generation PlayStation.
That's true. Yes. Yes.
Now, I have one of those. I had one and it died, and I went on eBay and bought another one
Nice.
because I had to have. I'm a big believer in backwards compatibility.
Yeah. But I think that's one of those games that because it's a licensed game, it's not on any of the digital shops, right? Like you can't buy the Die Hard trilogy off the PlayStation Store. I don't think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, like I'm never going to get rid of this, and it's not a great game, but it's
not
fun.
great. No.
The guy's like
Kinda bad.
imitating Bruce Willis's voice.
Because the first one of them is a shooter, like it's a first-person shooter kind of a thing, or like an arcade style. And one of them a flying thing. I can't even remember.
Die Hard with a Vengeance is the first-person shooter. Oh wait, John McClane's crying now. He's getting all sensitive.
Oh, yeah. He's got
Are we still synced up?
Yeah.
Let me hear yours.
Well, I got it muted.
Oh, we're gonna turn yours on.
You can't hear mine.
I don't like that.
All right. Just for you,
Just here
Eric.
for a second.
Eric DJ Eric D.
Oh, you're ahead of me now.
I'm a little bit ahead of you.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
a
gonna-
second. All right, I'm gonna pause for 1 second.
No, pause that. But
Okay.
fast forward. We hear now.
Got that, man?
Now you're ahead.
All right, hold on.
Let's just start over. We gotta
No.
go.
Okay,
Okay,
we sit down.
make it out of there. You hear me?
Can't hear yours.
Said something to man upstairs.
Do you mute yours?
Yeah.
Unmute it. I'm trying to sync up.
John.
Wait.
John. No, Alice. Just lay off. Just lay off for a while.
I think we got it.
Okay.
Check on something.
Wait. Oh, we're synced. This is
This is riveting for the viewer.
1 minute just to speak.
No.
All right.
Get ready.
Synced up.
All right. Do that meeting right now.
This is horrible. He's not very nice.
This is the last time.
He's in the sequel too, right? Doesn't he's there? He's on the
is.
plane. Yeah.
It's kind of it's a bit coincidental and forced, but you know it was fun to have him back. Listen, one of the elements of a good sequel is bringing back not just the main character but supporting characters. So I'm happy that they found a way to bring him back. And it was a bit of a stretch, but believable. But like you look at say Beverly Hills Cop 3, it's so weak. They only bring Billy Rosewood back and they bring Surge back, which is just unbelievable. That Surge went from working at an art gallery to selling, you know, military grade weapons. I mean, come on. That annoyed me.
Well, since we're talking about sequels, I kind of want to know what you think about Lethal Weapon 4.
I love Lethal Weapon 4. I mean, it's over the top, but it's consistent in tone with 2 and 3.
Yes.
But all 2, 3, and 4 are not consistent with tone in the first one, which is fine. The first one's the darker one. The second one is sort of half dark, half comedic, and then by the time you get the third one, they're basically action comedies.
Yeah, they're like family movies at that point. It's all about family.
You know, it's funny. It's not a sequel, but the movie had sequels. So last week, let me turn it up. Last week, when I rewatched Tango and Cash, I was really surprised on how much Bad Boys borrows from that movie, where Stallone's character is this rich guy who doesn't need to be a cop, but you know what I mean, who's sort of an action junkie, with a mismatched partner, and just the whole concept they were shot similarly, and the scores are very similar. I don't know if anybody watching this revisits Tango and Cash, I see a lot of similarities between the first Bad Boys movie and Tango and Cash.
I'm more familiar with Tango and Cash than I am with Bad Boys, so I have to revisit Bad Boys. There.
I love the Bad Boys 2. Might be could be my second favorite action movie of all time. I mean, I absolutely adore Bad Boys 2. Love it. I don't know how you feel about that. The movie's fantastic.
I don't remember Bad Boys 2. This is making me look like I don't ever watch any movies. I constantly watch them. I don't
so
remember
much
Bad
fun
Boys.
to watch.
I picked him up recently. I'll say I upgraded him to 4K, but I haven't watched him because they had you could get both of the 1 and 2. They were best. Like, it was like $12.99 for both movies on 4K, and I was like, all right, but I haven't watched them again yet.
Bad Boys 2 is the greatest car. I think that is the best car chase ever captured on film. It's a lot of CGI there. So much fun to watch. That's the greatest car chase for me, man. It's my favorite one. I love it. I think that Bad Boys 2 is the best, one of the best action movies ever made. It's Michael Bay at his peak. It looks cool. It's loud. It's ultra violent. It's just so much fun.
What year is Bad Boys 2?
It was 2003.
Okay, that's got to be around a peak for his. See, I think my favorite Michael Bay is The Rock.
I like Bad Boys 2, and I like the Isle. I'm really fond of the Island.
I have no opinion about the Island,
but I do love The Rock. Rock's up there. I mean, I love all Michael Bay's films. There's not a bad one in the bunch. So
I don't love what he's done with Transformers, but I know a lot of younger people.
I'll say that Transformers films are my least favorite Michael Bay films. They're pretty to look at. Story-wise, I think they're a bore, but I like to watch. I'll if I watch one, it's because it's eye candy. It's fun to look at.
I know you're a little bit older than me. Did you grow up with Transformers? Were you watching Transformers cartoons or anything?
No, I mean, they were on. It just didn't interest me.
Yeah.
He
took a lot of liberties with characters that we love. So
I could see that a purist, if you're a Michael Bay fan, you probably are less. Those movies are.
That's true. Yeah.
They're fun to watch. But you care less about the origins of the whole Transformers mythology. But if you're a Transformers fan, I could see that you might take issue with some of the things he did in the movie. Sure.
The last one is unwatchable.
I mean, I don't say it's unwatchable, but
The Last Night.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
I thought
that's our next commentary.
It's my least favorite, but I don't think it's all that much more unwatchable than the first.
We gotta acknowledge this scene.
Yeah, look at him. I like how these two start bonding now that the FBI's taken over. Like they're no longer adversarial, which is just very fantastic. It's little details like this in Die Hard that start as each subsequent movie. Those elements are missing from those scripts.
Yes.
And
the humanity of John McClane and the good man, and he feels less like.
It's a good day to die hard. I mean, the problem is sorry, buddy. He obviously had a writer and a director. Listen, it's easy to blame them. Then again, it could be somebody, could have been a suit at the studio that said, no, that's not what we want. You have to do it this way.
We want bigger.
The director of Die Hard 5, he made Behind Enemy Lines, which isn't a bad action movie.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Look at that. It's so great. That's great.
Did they tour that building? Do you know? Did they
I don't know.
With it now,
look at that. Now think about that. You see that there where he jumped down and hit the ground?
Yeah.
There's like bolts sticking up out of the ground. Like he could have gotten hurt. Yeah. It doesn't look like a set. That doesn't look like a set to me.
Sometimes things happen in these old movies, and it makes you wonder how they did it, why they did it. There's a movie.
There's no CGI in this, obviously, given its age.
There's a Henry Winkler movie where he runs up to a bus and jumps on the bus as it's moving, and I'm like, if he'd slipped, there goes Henry Winkler. There goes the Fonz.
The Fonz. So when he jumps off this building here, it is clearly a stuntman. Like you could see that his hair is slicked back to protect him from the explosion too. He's got like the gel on his hair. I love this.
Did you notice that on the laser disc though?
Oh yeah. Now when you watch this movie as many times as I've seen it, you start to notice things. By the time I got to the early '90s, I'd seen this a lot. Like
some of those Terminator 2 shots, the stunt shots in Terminator 2, like who's that?
Yeah, there's something about practical effects, like right there, clearly.
Yep.
It's so cool. That's great with the bloody feet. I mean, it's just like the cutting back and forth between the miniatures. I mean, that's brilliant. What good camera work there. Between the miniatures, the stage stuff, the actual building, it's just flawless.
One of the greatest climaxes of any action movie, right here.
This isn't the climax.
Well, third
We're
act.
getting there.
Oh my-
Oh, we're getting there, yes. Yeah,
culmination.
there's. Shit, I did it again, man. I hate this wire. I keep messing up. I don't want to. This is great. Like.
I can't believe they did all that to the Fox building. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
Just
We're gonna
kidding.
need some more FBI guys.
I just wish he'd do this at some point, like these two guys from the FBI. Hold up his two fingers.
Jesus. I thought he said something like that. I shouldn't be cursing, right?
I mean,
Should I not be? Should I? Do you want me to not curse?
it would come through anyway because the movie's full of it.
That's true.
I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle it yet.
Handle what?
Just how if I have to
I'm telling you, the algorithm on YouTube, you and I are talking over this way too much that if anything is leaking through, it's not long enough for the algorithm to pick up that, we're not showing any video and we're
Right.
talking over it.
Well, I'm not monetizing it, so it should. They ask a lot of questions about certain things. You have to fill out.
But you're
a lot.
allowed to, this is, I know, but you're allowed to, you're going to be fine. You don't monetize your content?
I do, but I don't think I can monetize this because.
I mean, you could certainly try.
Okay.
Put it up.
All right.
We're not sampling or anything. We're just sitting here having most of this. We're barely talking about the movie even. I mean,
It's still a work of criticism.
it's a work. We are absolutely criticizing this film.
We've talked about it nonstop.
Talked about it nonstop. Look, I like that they finally give Argyle a thing to do. And I also like, not that I'm ruining this for they're watching along. Like, I also like that Theo is the only one that lives through the movie.
That's true. And then he goes on to Walker, Texas Ranger. You're gonna have to. I'm gonna buy you the box set of Walker. For
Don't. I mean, it would be a waste. It's got like 10
Great shot.
seasons.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
got a
good.
ton of seasons. 8 seasons, I think.
Yeah, you're right. We were in the third act. I didn't realize. I forgot. How far along we were there for a moment.
I was like, we're not there yet. I'm like, we're not. We're
Yeah,
like,
here we are. You are. I think the third act pretty much starts when people start running back down the stairs from the roof. Oh, look at this guy. Thinks he's gonna. See, if this guy was smart, he'd just leave right now. You need to kind of assess the situation. I mean,
looks like an extra from Dallas.
but Willis has killed everybody at this point. Like,
But he didn't want to. He didn't want to kill anybody.
Eh. What, is he gonna monologue?
He's still in pretty good shape. I gotta say.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah,
No, he takes good care of himself.
he's not Schwarzenegger, but he's in good shape.
No, Schwarzenegger's not the kind. He's in a different kind of shape. He's an older guy now. Stallone's in the best shape. If I'd have to say anybody that took the worst care of himself, I mean, I don't want to be critical. Like, it disappoints me that Steven Seagal. I want so bad for him to be the Steven Seagal that he was in the 90s, or at least an older version of that. I don't like that he phones it in. I want to like more Steven Seagal movies. But
Yeah, I gave up on those a long time ago.
I think Van Damme and Stallone and Dolph Lundgren have probably taken the best care of themselves in terms of being fit and trying to maintain the physique that they had in their primes.
Their careers too. They're still making really good work.
They are. I mean,
A lot of
listen,
those things are great.
Dolph Lundgren's in Aquaman. I mean, you got to give the man credit. I mean,
That's true.
So good. Look, I saw Cable there a second ago.
Don't ruin it.
Oh, we're not ruining it. If anybody's watching this along with the commentary, they've seen the movie before.
This is my
Is this-
first time.
Is this irony? Because the very watch that Ellis gave her is the watch that's being.
Yeah.
I mean, for not being CGI, that's some pretty great green screen.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, good. It's properly lit, and as he goes further away, the light escapes him, and then the light from the other floors. See how it comes and goes. Really well done. Oh God, it's a great line. I mean, that stuntman just earned his.
Mm-hmm. And this is where he's like, "Merry Christmas, baby. And a Happy New Year."
That's great. I mean, like as a filmmaker, McTiernan had to love trashing that entire area just to get a money shot. It's great.
So I'm just watching the movie now. I can't.
I know it's hard, you know. It's hard to. Hey man, you need to. I haven't been doing a lot of promoting on it, but I've been working on a cartoon with my brother. We've been putting up these little I'm going to say they're shorts that run maybe a minute to 2.5 minutes at the most. They're animated. They're funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they? What are they?
We just started putting them up. Yeah, we just started putting them up on YouTube. It's called the Dick in Balz. And it's got a talking phallus and his friend, which is a talking scrotum.
All right.
And they have,
they have adventures.
We haven't given them a lot of adventures. They do a lot of talking at this point, but
okay.
I'll have to send you a link. Maybe you can post the link up. But
sure,
it's pretty. We're still feeling our way around with it, and it's something new for me. But my younger brother, who I'm like co-writing with, and he's doing the animation and he's directing the shorts. He's doing really.
It's the star of the violence movie.
Yeah, it's basically more of that. It's just we decided to mess around. I mean, we decided to mess around with animation. We're not shooting any more violence movies during COVID, but we can write short scripts, and we put up a short a week or so ago, a Christmas short. We started with a Christmas one, and then a few hours ago today, or I guess I don't know when this is going to be put up, but here we go. Little bonus ending. We got to give redemption to Sergeant Powell. First, you think it's Bruce Willis, but then you realize it's not.
It's Carl Winslow from Family Matters.
It's Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Now, another show I never watched. Look at that. Redeemed.
What if after this movie that character just goes and becomes like the smoking gun of the police department, and he's just like he becomes the loose cannon. He's like he's a loose cannon.
Oh yeah, he's like he's the Dirty Harry.
Yes, exactly.
That would certainly be a departure.
I know what you're asking yourself. Did he shoot 5 rounds?
Oh God.
I said these on YouTube. Where are your?
So it's on. We're putting them up on YouTube. We're putting clips up on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. But it's a YouTube cartoon. Looks good on YouTube. So, it's called Dick and Balz. DICK, the letter N, BALZ.
And guys, if you scroll down to the video description, there'll be a link there. You just click straight through.
Dick and Balz. Yeah. See, our main character's name is Richard Baculum. His nickname is Dick.
Oh.
And Harry Balzac. I know. So it's so stupid.
Last time I talked to you, you were like off the record, you're like, we're thinking about maybe doing some animation. So you did it.
I did mention it. Yeah, we were tooling around with it. Yeah, it's just, we're getting better with the animation. So I mean, there are things when you think of when you start thinking of the comedy and the kind of things you can do with animation, sky's the limit. However, it's not quite the limit yet with us because we're still feeling our way around in regards to how well we can animate with a computer. But it's good. I mean, it's good. I'm pretty proud of it. And my younger brother David, David, who animates it, he's the designer for the Rewind covers. He's really diving in, and he's really I'd say his attention to detail is exceptional. I mean, it's fun. I look forward to, like I said, when we get done here, I'll text you a link to the page. But all
right,
I think you'll like it. I do. So this was fun tonight.
Yes.
I hope people understand, like, it wasn't a typical commentary where we sat down with notes to break down each scene and things like that. We
didn't work on it, so
no, we didn't. We winged it the whole time, and we talked. There were certain things about the movie that we talked about, and then we kind of went off book and had some fun with it. It's fun.
What people like about Kevin Smith commentaries, right? Because they're just chilling and having fun.
It would, it'd be the kind of conversation is if you were sitting here, we both put on a movie on that we both seen a billion times, and we'd be watching the movie, and then be like, dude, did you see this movie, or did you see that, or it's that kind of conversation. So
why is Bruce Willis phoning in these days? What's up with that?
I mean, literally, like last night, I'm like literally going through and reading this book because I'm like, am I gonna have to like know things about the scenes and stuff? And then I realized, you know what?
Yeah,
just wing it. Let's just talk.
I took 0 notes. That's right. I've
seen it enough times.
Exactly. We didn't make the movie. You're just watching the movie with us. We're just hanging out.
Make the movie.
We're just chilling, enjoying the movie, and you're with us. The millions at home got to experience this with us. They're here in the conversation. You guys continue the conversation. Put the comments in the comments below. Let's continue this. What do you think about Dick and Balz? That's the most important thing from this conversation.
So immature that I laughed at that like a kid, but we're just trying different stuff.
Fun.
I have that I'm working on. I have this movie that's coming out next year that I worked with these great filmmakers. These filmmakers that worked on the movie that came out this summer called The Second, but this new movie is called Overrun, which is an action movie that stars Omid Zader, Johnny Mesner, William Catt, trying to think who else, Nick Turturro. A lot of guys I've worked with in the past, but really fun independent action movie that coming next year.
Wow. Keep us in the loop for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Every few years I get involved with something. So, but the resume is growing and it's impressive too. I know, but you go on IMDb now, there's I have to say I'm so enjoying like making these special editions and executive producing and producing these bonus features. Like, I don't mind that my filmography now is filled up with making of this movie, making of that movie, interview with this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. I'm privileged in the sense that every once in a while I actually get to work on or make a movie, and I don't get rich off of those, but I absolutely adore working on those special editions for the collectors. And I love the collectors community. They're my favorite people. Like, I love getting online and talking to them. I should post more and I don't, but I love interacting with them. Just great people. And they treat me so nice. They're so nice. Like, that's why, like, if a mistake or something happens on the disc, I feel obligated to go out of my way to fix it and make sure that it's right. If that means a recall or sending out discs, I feel obligated to do that because the customers and the people supporting this stuff are some of the nicest people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting.
That's because you've earned their trust too. That doesn't just happen. You have to earn that, and you have.
Well, they're good peeps, and I hope I can keep coming up with movies to acquire that are worth buying. I know today, Gun Crazy comes out today. Well, the day we're taping this, Gun Crazy comes out today. I'm really proud of that one. It came out really good, and a lot of people probably haven't seen that movie, but it's absolutely worth their time. Good fun, lovers on the run sort of action movie. Not as extreme as say Natural Born Killers, but it's kind of it was in there from that era. It's from 1990.
Is that a remake of the Noir? There's a Noir from.
No, I don't think it is.
Okay.
I think it shares the title, but it is not a remake. Other than it, shares the title. So,
gotcha. Tell people before we go. Tell people where to follow you. Tell people where to go.
You can follow me on Twitter at Indie Producer, INDEE Producer, which is also the same handle I use on Instagram, of course. Facebook.com/MVD Rewind Collection or MVD Collectors Brands. Both of those, I maintain those pages. I also did reveal that I was maintaining the page for the Vestron Video Collector Series, but I admitted who I was and stopped updating it. I feel bad. I saw people posting on there today that I guess Lionsgate was shipping out sets of Warlock Missing Discs 2 on there. Ooh. And I'm like, I know, but I have no control over that. I'm not affiliated with Lionsgate anymore. And my friend of mine that used to work there, that I was sort of helping with that collection, doesn't work there anymore either. So I gave access to that page to somebody else, and I don't update it anymore because I got to worry about my own label. It's tough enough, So, and now that my connection at Lionsgate's gone, there's no way, there's no way for me to get information of stuff that's coming. Michael Felsher, I gave access to him, but he doesn't post on there.
Well, you got your hands full with MVD, so
I do have my hands full with MVD, and we have I've literally just acquired over 20 titles. I'm going to say half of them are going to Marquee. The other half will be going to the Rewind Collection.
Nice.
We're going to have a more healthy release slate in 2021 than we did in 2020.
Okay.
So, yep.
We'll be looking forward to it, and we'll be covering it too. And I'll be reviewing them because I love those.
Cool.
All right.
All right, listen, this was a pleasure. No, it's it, man. I appreciate you doing this tonight. It's a lot of fun. It's Christmas time. We're watching Die Hard, which is what I call a Christmas adjacent movie. It's not quite Christmas, but you can watch it during Christmas.
That's right.
Other Christmas adjacent movies I would say would be the Hudsucker Proxy. Trying to think of other, I don't know. Die Hard's
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon, Christmas adjacent. Absolutely.
Yep.
So
nice. This has been a blast. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Stick around.
All right, man.
Stick around. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Continue the conversation in the comments below. Follow all the social media links. Keep in touch with everything that's going on with MVD. We love this company. This is somebody, Eric he's our people. So thank you, Eric. Until next time, we will catch you later. Yippee-ki-yay, mother.